All right, we're back on another project today. What we got going on, Kevin?
Well,
customer states
yes,
the track will not hold grease any longer. You guys can see, track is plumb sagged out. Do we know the reason why?
I think so.
I think so too. If you guys are watching this thing come in here, there's something going on right here. Kevin's gonna mark the, you got a marker there?
Yeah.
So this, if you guys don't know, I'll show you how these things work, but we've done these in the past. There's actually grease fitting in here. It puts grease in this cavity and tightens the track up. It's kind of like a hydraulic cylinder, but it's with grease. So he says it's leaking up here, but you guys look, where's the center line of this idler at? About right here?
Right here. And the tractor's about right here.
So this is where the center of the idler is supposed to be, and it's over here. So if you guys can see, that is definitely not lined up. So what happened, the bearing has went out of idler and it's went back into that yoke. Probably ate the cavity out in the grease fitting.
Like a beaver.
So you guys see me carrying in a couple new parts. We got a new idler from ITR and a new yoke from Paint Valley Equipment. So what's happened, this idler's actually come back and wore a groove into this yoke, and this is actually a grease cavity in here. So let's wore that out. So we got new parts, got to replace that. We're gonna bust the track apart and get all this dirt and stuff off here. You guys see, we actually put these tracks on a couple years ago. You remember that? No.
No.
I've got the master link up here. There's actually an alligator link there. We'll have to clean that pad up. We'll bust the track right there in that front idler, so it will go back together easy. We got a lot of dirt to clean up.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, you guys run this stuff, these tracks, you shouldn't have to be maybe once every week or every oil change or so, tighten these tracks up. If you're in there tightening your tracks up every day, every couple of days or something, there's something going on. So you definitely want to keep an eye on your bearings, your front idler. I've also seen these track rails. I've seen a pin and bushing break in these, and they'll start stretching out. You'll see a big gap in your links here or something. You know, you get something breaking, it just starts stretching and stretching. You keep pumping it up more and more. I've also seen these springs break in here. There's 2 or 3 different things. So if you're having to pump your tracks up like every day, every couple days, you need to take a look. Something's going on there. So unless you've got completely worn out tracks or something like that. So we're gonna get cleaned up here and get the track busted apart. Ready to bust the track apart, bud?
There we go. There we go.
Boom.
Did it. Hey, there's a winch in the table over there.
All right, we got our track chained up to the roll cage, double chain too.
This is for your
Double safety.
This is for your safety.
So what we're gonna do is yank this whole thing out, one assembly. You might want to take a look over here on the other side.
Watch that. Oh,
Somebody actually run this in the dirt for some reason.
that is so.
This is why it's so hard to keep a clean shop. So why we like to bust them apart in either one, they're easy to put together. Another thing too, got a little short piece of track here that acts like a train track, so we can roll that old idler out, we'll roll a new one right back in there. So I think we need to have a cleanup on aisle 3. Man, this idler's really worn down bad too. Ooh. Is that supposed to do that? I don't see a shaft in there. You guys can see that big groove in there.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I think that needs
She's
more.
ready for a rebuild.
That needs more than a grease seal.
She's ready for a rebuild.
All right, we're gonna get all cleaned up and we'll pull her out of there. right, got most of the crap cleaned out. Kevin's giving her. Did she break?
Person.
Oh, there she goes. Does that help you?
Yeah, thanks. The diagnosing station. Watch your toes. Oh yeah, bub.
Got a couple more miles left on it. All right, so this chrome rod actually goes in there, and that's what these seals seal up against when you pump grease in this cavity right here. So usually these things are bad. You can see this one's got a big old rusty mark, and there's some pitting and stuff here. What happens, that won't hold a seal or cut those new seals. So that thing's actually stuck in there, which is common. Kevin's gonna do a little more air hammering. So we'll try to get that thing knocked out of there because the new yoke has a rod on it. We can get them without that rod, but most of the time on these older dozers, you're gonna run into this kind of stuff. So not saying you couldn't polish that up and it might get you by, but we're gonna do it the right way here and replace the rod too. Oh yeah, buddy. You made it.
Maybe it's threaded.
Threaded? I don't think so.
If it is, we're going the wrong way.
It's been in it over 20 years.
You know what I need? Do your job, power lube.
What do you think? Could weld a something on there for a prior situation.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
Is that what smart people
I'll
would
prep
do?
the surface.
I'll have to cut them up here too. Squeeze them out. But... You gonna weld her up?
Yeah, I'll prep the surface for you.
Alright, so this thing don't want to leave its home for some whatever reason. So you can cut these off here and try to weasel out the pieces. I think what we're going to do is weld a piece of metal on here where we can get a pry bar in there and hopefully pop her out. We're going to grab the welder and get after it. So Kevin's got, we got a used nut out of the scrap bin. We're going to weld that on there for a pry situation. We got a little pro tip here. You definitely want to shut the battery disconnects off on these tractors because they have electronic transmission controller off. So anything John Deere from like 2000 up on these little tractors will have that. So you're gonna get that welded on there and hopefully we can pry that rod out just that easy.
Just that easy.
You think you got enough weld on there, bud?
When I welded weld, 12 different ways.
Yeah, it ain't gonna come off there.
Now, hang on a second.
Watch it
Shut
pop,
that,
fly,
shut
go,
that camera
go flying
off real
across
quick.
the shop.
Sucker may just pop right off.
If that does, we've got problems. Keep getting in my way.
Oh,
Look at that.
Oh, look at the penetration, would you, folks?
Coming right out. Why didn't we do that to begin with? Just that easy.
I'll be hosting a welding seminar at
Is that
1.
right? 1 o'clock today?
Yeah.
Eastern time?
In my shorts.
In your shorts. We won't show that part on TV down there. Alright, we're going to get all this mess cleaned up. One thing we got to do, the new front idler does not come with these wear bars. If these wear bars are still good, which they don't look too bad, we got new ones in stock. We'll pull these out and reuse those. There's some shims and stuff I showed you guys in other videos, but we'll show you again because this is kind of a how-to to change your idler and track adjuster out. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You want me to show everybody your good weld job?
Well done.
Did it crack?
That's penetration station.
Penetration station. All right, we're gonna get her cleaned up. All right, got her, bud?
Nailed it.
Got these shims all cleaned up. I've been over doing a little bit of measuring on this.
Oh boy.
Got my.
I've seen the way you measure.
Yeah. Measure once and
cut twice.
Cut twice. So I've been measuring this rail. It's wore a little bit more here in the middle where the thing runs. So the thickest part on it's about 850 thousandths, and we got these wear bars are almost the same height as new. So we're gonna reuse these. So those sit in there. Kevin's gonna hold it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And this is where that track rail was we was just measuring a few minutes ago. So this is sitting about 950 thousandths. So probably can put one little shim in there. We want a little bit of play, 16th or so. So we got about 100 thousandths of gap right now. So what we'll probably do is throw a couple shims underneath there on each side. You need some bolts too, don't you?
Bolt.
So Kevin's gonna thread the bolts in there. These are actually the same shims that they use on the side here. So we're gonna shim out a little bit. You want a little bit of clearance so that dude will slide on the track. So we'll get that all bolted up. It's pretty important to keep those shimmed up. If you don't, the idler's gonna sit there and bounce. It's gonna put a lot of wear and tear on your track frames here. So you want like a 16th inch of clearance. It's gotta be able to slide in there and move. So we'll get that all in there, and then we'll adjust the side play on it too with shim. So this is plug needs to go out this way, Kevin. Got that big piece? Drop it down. Really?
We need to go to commercial.
Commercial break. I'm good at editing, so.
You run this and fast forward, ain't you? Get up on your choo-choo track. Choo-choo!
Oh. Choo-choo, girl. You got a crooked, bud.
Choo-choo!
You ready?
Choo-choo! Put it in for low.
Why don't you clean this out?
I thought you cleaned it up.
Maybe I just told him we did. I should get loose once it goes back in here.
Did you put any lube on there?
No. You want lube? Oh, did you get it, bud?
Yeah, bub.
How about, there's no lube in it. There you go. Got her all the way? Okay, aren't you? And you do good work.
Well, I tell you what, that's good stuff there.
Somebody's got to do good work around here. So, another little pro tip. You notice we put the writing on the outside over here. The reason is there's actually an oil fill plug right there. These things are filled from the factory, but if you ever want to check them, pull them off, put more oil in them. Nobody ever does it. There's no oil fill plug on this side, so these are actually reversible left or right. So always put the writing out, look for that plug, put it out, and make people's life a lot easier. Now we're ready for some side plates. That's going to shim the side to side. I'm looking at it here and I'm thinking we may not maybe one shim on each side. We'll start with that. So on these plates, Kevin actually ground off the side that was on the outside. You guys can see on the camera, that's actually worn a little bit. So we'll put the, you guys see how it's angled? We're gonna put that worn side out so we got a nice flat square edge sticking out here now. So those shims will go in between here. You ready? All right, so Kevin tighten up those side plates. We got 2 shim there, which might be too much. I'm thinking, Kevin. You guys can see we've got a big gap in there. We're gonna have to pull 1 shim out of each side, bud. Guess you should have stuck to my original. So we got like over 1/8 inch of play there. We got 2 shims on it right now, so we'll pull 1 out each side, and it should be good. That's gonna shimmer side to side. Again, you want a little bit of play so that thing will slide. You notice when we slid it in at first, it was kind of tight because out here they don't really wear. Once it got back here, it's loose. So it's got about the right amount of play in it. So we'll get them on there. We'll probably go ahead and put this track cover off. The customer took that off. Keep in mind, this is not my machine. We're just working on it for a customer. So we'll get it bolted back on. Then we'll put the track back together. Got her?
That'll hold.
Okay. Now we gotta get the other half on there. We letting her down like men, or?
Oh.
No?
No. Men use forklifts.
Oh.
That's what men use. No, that's my second sample of safety. Now we're in the danger zone.
I think one thing just in case we can pick it.
Okay.
Anybody gonna help me today?
I'm gonna help.
Oh, baby does.
Short! Short. Well, we're gonna have to get a rod extender.
Put another link in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a chainsaw.
Just that easy, right?
Yeah, like my bicycle back in the day.
We get the old come along to the blade. Pull it right up there. Did you get it? We tell the people what you did with these anti-seize bolts that I just put up here for you?
My whole
You got it
arm.
cleaned up.
I tried to use it like
I got the
leverage.
track bolts all anti-seized up and he got it all over.
Yeah. All of it. Coming in.
Alright, you got to come along in there. We're going to pull the chain up there.
Little horsey.
Little horsey.
Little horse.
Well, if we didn't have all that dirt on there, it'd be alright, you know? Got it. There's our track pad.
Finished product.
Well, what we done, we just put that alligator link together there. We got the back of the pad all cleaned off there. We don't want any dirt or paint.
Let's put it on back.
I don't think you can, bud. Be lucky you can get it slid in there with the...
You just don't know me.
Probably need to put that under there first.
No, I can't.
Oh, you need me to manhandle this chain?
Won't go. Start lifting.
Be a man. Uh-oh, now you done it. Got her bound up too much. What we can do is put a bolt in there and hold it. let that off. She should stay. Just gotta cross your fingers.
Sell it as is.
Weld it?
Just weld it and sell it as is.
Alright. Oh!
There you go. Good job.
Got it on me. So what we're gonna do, we'll put a bolt in here and kind of hold this together. And we'll get this tracks all kind of bound up. Sounds like a real great idea.
I like where you're going with this.
This is gonna keep things from going downtown. How much you need there to get that track pad in?
Whole bunch.
That ought to get you there, huh? What do you think?
Nice carpet crew.
Fine thread bolts. Oh, you got that, bud.
Booyah! There we go.
You always want to make sure those things start by hand. You don't want those things will cross thread very easy with the fine threads on there. So Kevin's gonna get those tightened up, and then we'll get a grease gun and tighten her chain up.
That's right.
Alright, so Kevin's gonna take off that protective plug, and there'll be a grease fitting in, and that grease is gonna shoot in that cylinder there, and in turn tighten the track up. So it's gonna be like all brand new, won't it?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I even brought you a grease gun. It's actually got grease in it. You know that never happens.
Wow. About the time it starts checking all this dirt out there.
Kevin's got her snugged up some. We'll back it outside. It's probably gonna loosen up or so much dirt and stuff packed around things. We got a little knot in the track down there. So you want about an inch and a half of slack from a high point on this roller right here to a high point here. So if you put a straight edge across here, you want about an inch and a half of track sag. So it's about what we got right now, but when it backs out, we may have to tweak her up a little bit more. Boy, you made a mess in here, didn't you?
I didn't do it.
I believe you did. Are you gonna take this home and hang it up on the wall? Trophy weld?
Oh, man.
Look, the whole world's looking at it right now.
I told you that's penetration station.
Penetration station. We've got a pile of scrap parts, a good boat anchor here. If you got a yacht, it might not be good on your John boat.
Hey, there's something to give away.
Yeah. Anybody wants a free boat anchor, come see me.
Gotta be in person though.
Set this up here for right now. We'll get her backed out here and see what we need.
Hey,
Are you ready?
let's settle this debate once and for all.
Oh, they put the flapper caps on sideways. Which way is the flapper cap supposed to go? Back towards the operator, it blows smoke in her face, or towards the front?
No, because when it's back, it shoots it over the
Yeah,
cap.
and when the wind blows, it goes right in her face.
When the wind blows this way,
Kevin
it's
seems to
spinning
think the
right
flapper needs to point back that way, where it blows
I
smoke
like
in her
this
face.
way. This is gangster.
I
Shoots
point
out
them the
side.
front way. The only bad thing about pointing them frontwards, tree limbs catch in them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why it's on their sideways, because they don't know which way to be.
Hey, I don't blame him.
That's what
He's
you call a
halfway right.
bi flapper.
He's halfway right.
It's a bi flapper. All right, he's getting ready to back her out. What you doing, Randy?
I gotta take it.
Hey, we made a big mess here for you, unfortunately. Oh, you want me to turn that disconnect back on? Kevin got her backed outside, got a little bit of slack in it. We're going to tighten her up a little more. figured it would do that. What do you think?
I love it.
Tap back on. There you go. All right. We got a brand new idler and a yoke on there. So this is kind of a how-to video of how to replace the front idler. If you got a bad yoke assembly, you got to go through the same process. Hopefully you guys learned something shimming up those front idlers and stuff. So we keep front idlers in stock, yokes, the shims, all that kind of stuff, the wear bars. So if you need that stuff, hit us up. Our email information is in the description below. So what do you think? Job well done?
I like it.
You guys liked the video today, give us a big thumbs up. Hopefully it helps you guys out, and it's going to help us out a bunch too. So if you're not done so, you definitely want to consider subscribing so you don't miss any more videos like this. So we'll catch you guys next time.
Oh, Papa.
Randy, you know you do good work. Kevin made this big mess in here today, didn't he?
Don't you listen to Kevin. His whole life.
Hey, I got an anchor there for your boat too. You can take that home.
Do a giveaway.
Or you can take that home. Put that in your John boat. Well, you need one now. We got you an anchor.
Yeah. And I welded that nut on there, by the way.
Yeah, it'll probably fall off. Don't tie to it.
Hey.
Well, that's
Depend
all right.
on
I'll lose it for a time or two so it'll fall off.
No.
You will. Don't tie nothing to that nut. It'll fall off.
Don't say that.
What a mess.
Them last nuts is great. I welded on that blade. He put them on there like permanently.
There you go, Randy. Keep
He's
going.
he's scared about his welds breaking.
I didn't usually tax him. Why in the hell do you weld them all the way around?
He's worried about his weld breaking.
My daddy used to ball bat welds when I was a kid. All the time.
More is not always better.
Yes, it is.